Hello, this is Chad Smith with BC Gurus. With part 7 of our site template module video series, we're going to go over site performance. So one big way to increase your site performance would be to reduce the number of HTTP requests. So one big way of doing that would be to create one big image. So creating a image sprite with all the images from your site would greatly reduce the number of HTTP requests, increase the efficiency of your site, which would then lead to faster page loads for your users. Now, one of our newest projects here at Hot Press Web and BC Gurus, we did a site for Ace Eat Serve, which is a nice little restaurant here in Denver. So as you can see, I know the resolution isn't all that great here as far as size-wise, but as you can see, there's a lot of icons, a lot of texture. So to get this page to load quickly, I want to create as many image sprites as I can to reduce the number of HTTP requests for those numbers of images. So basically what I did was take all the images that I could add into my sprite and created one giant image for the site. Now, normally when you're creating an image sprite, you can't do images that are repeating, because every one of these images here are going to need a height and a width. So to target this Stubbins icon, you need to position the image however many pixels to the left and how many pixels down. And then we're going to need to give it a width and a height so that we don't see any other of the images around it. There is a way around getting images to repeat, though. They have to be repeating the same way. So this upper image here is for the header, and then the bottom image down here is for the footer. Now, since these are going to repeat horizontally, I can add them both to the same sprite to lower my number of requests even further. So if I had ones that repeated horizontally, I would just need to make sure that they all are the same width or the same height, and then don't repeat over each other, so that when this is repeating, it's just getting that footer, because it's still going to need to put a height on there so it knows what's just the footer image and what's just the header image. Another way to make your site more efficient would be to put the JavaScript at the bottom of the page. Now, as you can see here on this little image, we have quite a few different scripts that we're calling for this site. So this last function here, we could probably get rid of that and add it to my hotpress config file, so that for this page here we can lower it by one request. Another good way to speed things up would be to minify some of these JavaScript files together so that we can just have one script file to load. Now, another thing pretty big on the web right now is using text or font replacement tools so we can get custom fonts on our websites and get away from those web-based fonts that we've used for so long. So Kufon is a JavaScript font replacement, which is going to create an image over your text to display your custom font, which it works pretty well, but it does have its limitations, and it's not really that fast. So you're going to see a flash on your font as the page loads. Cipher is a Flash-based one, which can have a similar flash. So what I would recommend, and what we've been using more often, is the @FontFace from Google Fonts. And if you have a Creative Cloud membership, you will have access to Typekit for your websites. And then Font Squirrel is another place where they have free licensed fonts that you can use, kind of like Google does, and it'll package them up for you so you can use them on your websites. Now, these fonts aren't perfect. They do have their issues as well. Depending on the size of the font file you're referring to from Google, you can have a flashing effect as well. So just something to watch when you're creating your site, to make sure you're picking the right text replacement for that particular site. And the last thing that you need to do when you're checking your site performance is to check the site before it goes live. So using a tool like Yslow can really help you improve your performance and site efficiency. Let's go to a page now, and I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about with Yslow. So Yslow is a plugin that you can use with Chrome and Firefox, and once you're installed it, Chrome will give you an icon up here, and within Firefox it'll be within your Firebug panel. So here we are at basicgurus.com If I click on the Y slow button, we can run a test for the current page we're on. Then YSO will give you a grade and kind of show you the areas that you can improve. Make this a little bigger. So overall performance, we get a score of 75. Right now, we can really look at making a little less HTTP requests. We have 10 JavaScript files loading right now. Unfortunately, some of those are coming from Business Catalyst, so we can't really do much about those, but the ones we can control, we should be able to lower that number by a little bit. And then, as you can see, we have 7 external background images. We are using an image sprite for our BC Guru site. And there are a few of these things like expired headers and compressed components with gzip that you're probably not going to be able to do too much with your Business Catalyst site. But at least with the HTTP requests, or put your CSS at top or JavaScript at the bottom, these are nice ways to kind of see where you can improve your site. Every little bit does help. And that concludes our site performance video. In the resources, there will be a checklist on kind of a go live checklist to make sure that your site is running as efficiently as possible.